Hi folks at Harley Davidson Europe. I am Andreas from Germany and I'm really happy that you are not looking for someone who wants to go on a cruise. I am talking about cruise in the usual meaning. Okay, you announce the Road Glide as your new flagship, but thank God it's just a metaphor. What I want to say is, I'm absolutely not interested to travel on board of a cruise ship, no matter how luxurious the ship is. But if I just told you that an ordinary cruise ship doesn't fit with my ideas of traveling, it would be less convincing, right? So let me explain that one a little bit more. To stay open-minded, there's no better way than traveling. In my opinion, traveling helps everybody to get a better understanding of a foreign country's culture and the people who live there. Sooner or later, every traveler will come to the point where he has to review his prejudices. But is this thesis also valid for cruise ship passengers? Well, let us assume the following. A cruise ship is shipping to Munich during the well-known Oktoberfest. What would happen? Well, let us assume the following. A cruise ship is reaching Munich during the well-known Oktoberfest. What would happen? Right, all the passengers come off the ship to attend the Oktoberfest. They, so I hope, will have a lot of fun. Eventually most of them get drunk, and the next morning, when some of the passengers probably will suffer from the hangovers, the cruise liner will continue its journey to another harbor. Unfortunately, the new destination is neither Cologne, nor Hamburg, nor Berlin. No, the ship is just sailing to another country. And what is the result of that? You already guessed it. All passengers believe that everywhere in Germany, folk festivals follow the same pattern as Munich's huge beer festival. Worst case, a few passengers even end up believing that all the Germans are immediately starting to slap their thighs and buttocks as soon as they are listening to brass music. Coming off board of a cruise liner doesn't allow you to get a more complex understanding of the country and its people. It's more comparable with watching a James Bond movie. You get a lot of impressions, but you gain no insight into what is important to the people you are watching while they are working at a colorful market or a busy harbor. As a cruise ship passenger, you just pick up what is happening at the touristic hotspots of the town the ship is currently stopping at. But a lot of aspects will stay hidden. For example, the whole diversity of a country's beauty, as well as the people's way of thinking about this, that and the other. Now you know why I am not interested in cruise ships. But when I'm thinking of your flagship, the Road Glide Special, my approach to cruisers is completely different. This motorcycle is the kind of a cruiser which makes it possible to get more sustainable impressions of a country than any cruise ship could ever achieve. I remember the year 1986. At a petrol station between Selkirk and Edinburgh, I filled the tank of my Suzuki GSX 400. After I had filled the tank and had given the money to the owner of the station, he handed over the change and said to me with a smile on his face, "You are German, right? So tell me, why don't you ride a German motorbike? If you rode, for example, a BMW, I would have filled the tank for you." Many years later, I cruised through the Palatinate forest riding a friend's BMW R1150 TRT. And believe me or not, the situation on the Scottish petrol station came to my mind again. But there was nobody who offered me to fill the tank of my motorbike. Different countries, different customs, or just the victory of self-service petrol stations? Anyway, over all the years since I own my driving license, I have ridden a wide range of motorbikes. Touring bikes as well as travel enduros like the Transalp. On the 18th of April this year, I will attend a one-day lasting enduro training. As you can see, I am experienced, highly motivated and well prepared to discover the streets of Europe as an ambassador for Harley Davidson. Assuming that the journey will start in the United Kingdom, I will first ride to Scotland by crossing the Lake District. This part of the journey is running under the headline "Warming up for the big trip." After a couple of days on the road, the United Kingdom, it's time to cross the Channel. Taking the night ferry from Newcastle upon Tyne to Amsterdam will give plenty of time to gain new energy for the trip, which is provided with the headline "North Sea and Bosporus are separated by the Alps and the Balkan. What's the odds?" And the headline for the third part of the journey across the roads of Europe is Budapest, Brescia and the Baltic Sea. Connect them, just for fun. The last section of the journey starts in the Alps, leads via Genua along the Italian Riviera and Côte d'Azur to Barcelona, from where the journey continues via France back to the United Kingdom. The section's headline is "On the Sunny Side of Motorcycling." Some people seem surprised when they realize that not only blood is running through my veins, but also a good amount of petrol. But the companies from which I rented various cabriolets or lorries certainly appreciated that. In any case, they never had a reason to complain that they had lent me one of their vehicles. For me, driving a car and riding a motorcycle is more than just a way of getting from one point to another. Unless I'm caught up in a traffic jam, I have always a great fun being on the road. When I use a known road, I do that because I will do everything to avoid riding over highways. Europe has plenty of roads which are far more attractive than any highway. For that reason, the plan for my journey is completely ignoring the highways. I want to discover and enjoy the roads that wind over the mountains. I want to discover how the road glide behaves when it has to climb up and down the serpentines of Europe. I want to see and feel how the bike reacts to side wind when I ride along the European coastlines. There's no better way to explore the abilities of a motorcycle than to experience different conditions with the bike, whatever the weather or the quality of a road is. The route is a goal. As an experienced couch surfer, I will also have the opportunity to contact couch surfers living in the towns on my way. That is one of the best ways to learn about interesting events in a town. Whenever something is to report, I will feed my social media accounts. Take my word, as a writer, journalist and consultant for social media communication, I do not only know the differences between relevant and unimportant content, but I also know how to communicate the content on the different social media platforms. In case you need one more argument to underline my huge motivation and passion to become Harley Davidson's ambassador in the running year, here it is. The kick-off of the DiscoverMore 2015 journey is scheduled for May 25th. And that is exactly the day when I celebrate my 50th birthday. And believe me, I cannot imagine a better birthday gift than to be the one who pushes the starter button of the Round Glide Special to discover Europe in the following 2 months.